Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
I'm going to say splash anytime I see problems.
Good idea.
So for the final one that got away in 2016, of course it's not going to be just one movie. It's going to be another triple feature, and the only reason is because of the fact that I had to see the three films that I want to talk about today and share with you. Because when award season came around, there were so many movies that were just getting so many Oscar nods, and I wanted to see all of them, but I just didn't have the time. So the first movie that we're going to talk about was the movie Carol, starring Rooney Mara and Cate Blanchett. This movie was a very interesting one, especially because of the fact that this one is all about lesbianism in the 1950s. And in case you don't know your history, gay and lesbianism was a topic that was very much taboo and something that could get you into much more trouble than you could possibly imagine, possibly even go to jail. So this is the story of a young girl who is coming of age, played by Rooney Mara, who doesn't really know what she wants in life until she actually meets this older woman, Carol. And apparently Carol unleashes the best in this young girl through the attraction that the two of them have for one another. And through this meeting and through this attraction, the young girl finally discovers what she wants to do in life, but the question is really going to be, will Carol be in her life? So this movie was one that got a lot of buzz, and I have to say that it was a very, very good movie. I think that the acting was absolutely fantastic. I believe that both Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara got Academy Award nominations for both of their roles, and especially because of the fact that the topic is so interesting and the characters are so engaging, you never have a truly dull moment through the film. However, I am going to say that this movie is not necessarily for everybody. It is not a fast-paced movie, even though it is very engaging. It's a real slow burn, and again, it really is based around the character development and the dialogue, which is very, very rich within the film and the characters. But also, the topic nature is something that not everybody is going to be interested in seeing. But I will say that it is a movie that is worth watching, even if you're not interested. If you just want to see a very well-made film, this is definitely one to take a look at. It's not a movie that I'd want to see multiple times, nor is it a movie that I would want to add to my own DVD collection, but am I very glad that I've seen Carol? Yes, I am, and I'm going to give it a very strong 3 out of 4 stars. The next movie in the triple feature was The Danish Girl, which was directed by Tom Hooper, who gave us one of the Academy Award-winning Best Pictures in The King's Speech, and a new rendition of Les Miserables starring Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, and Anne Hathaway. And this movie stars Eddie Redmayne and Alicia Vikander, and it is the true story of Lily Elba, who first recorded transgender woman, in which doctors actually operated upon a man to turn him into a woman, who of course is now a legendary figure in the transgender community. Of course, a movie with Eddie Redmayne is something that I am always very interested in seeing, because ever since I've seen The Theory of Everything, he is an actor who is truly at the top of his game, and every time he is on screen, his performances are absolutely beautiful. And this, of course, is about the couple in Denmark who are Einar and Gerda Wenger, and they are both artists. Einar happens to be a very effeminate man, and because of the fact that he has these feminine qualities, his wife usually likes to have him pose with women's clothing for the sake of getting some of the final touches on her pictures completed. But apparently, after doing this numerous times, Einar suddenly discovers that he may have stronger things going on inside him, especially when he is around these articles of women's clothing. Eventually, he realizes that he is, in fact, a woman trapped in a man's body, and her name is Lily. It's, again, a very engaging film with amazing characters, probably one of the more powerful roles played by Eddie Redmayne, but then again, when is he ever not in a powerful role? The characters really work off of one another. There's also some other great actors in here, like Ben Whishaw and Amber Heard, as well as a fantastic, powerful score, probably one of the best from Alexandre Desplat, who is one of my favorite composers right now, and it was just so amazing to watch this man struggling, trying to figure out what is this thing that he's trying to accomplish going to do towards his wife, his marriage, his friends, and his family. Is this something that is going to be accepted, or is this something that is just going to cause everything to go crashing down? There are some parts of the film that could be a little bit unsettling, especially when operations are discussed with the world of medicine at the time, but the fact that they were actually able to perform these types of acts during the 1920s was, of course, very groundbreaking, as we all know how these kinds of procedures are done today. Again, a very well done movie, very well executed, but maybe not necessarily accepted by everybody. It's also not a movie that I'd be interested in owning or seeing multiple times, but it is a movie that I would still gladly see again, and I'm very glad that I've seen it, especially with movies like The Danish Girl and Carol. I feel that I have learned a little bit in regards to these areas of the human community that I don't really know that much about. So yes, The Danish Girl is a very powerful film, very good, and I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 4. And the next movie that I want to talk about, of course, is Brooklyn, which is a movie that I really wanted to see based on the trailers that I had seen, and of course it is based on the book that was written by Com Tolbin. It stars a very good cast, including Saoirse Ronan, Emery Cohen, and 3 Harry Potter cast members. We have Domhnall Gleeson, Jim Broadbent, and a very unrecognizable Julie Walters. And of course, what excited me was the fact that Emily Bett Rickards from Arrow, Felicity Smoke, was also going to be in this movie. I'm quite certain that this was her very first big screen debut, so it was really exciting to see her. This movie is all about a girl from Ireland who is going to try and make a life for herself, so she moves to Brooklyn, and while she is learning how the city functions, learning how to live in society in New York, she meets a young Italian boy named Tony, and while it takes a little bit of time, Tony is very persistent, and it turns out to be a wonderful and very heartwarming relationship that blossoms between the two of them. But then there are some events that cause Ailish to go back to her native home of Ireland, and then the question is really going to be, does she stay and return to the life that she once had, or does she go back to Brooklyn and continue to build the life that she has already planted the foundation for in Brooklyn? I was excited for this movie, and I have to say that it was very underwhelming, and maybe it's just because of the fact that it was just another one of those heard that before, seen that before kind of deal, but it also had some very good acting, very familiar and relatable characters, as well as a beautiful color palette as well. The colors are just so beautiful and vibrant. In Brooklyn, there are so many different colors, and the lush greenery in Ireland is just so beautiful, and also a very engaging score from Michael Brook. I've never heard of this composer before, but I really liked the score that Brooklyn had. I just wish that I loved the movie more than I thought that I would. I don't think that it's a movie that should be skipped. If you like these kinds of romantic films, then maybe it would be something that you would enjoy more than I did. But unfortunately, I did not enjoy it. There were parts that I enjoyed, but overall, I just found myself seeing so much that I've seen before, and just feeling kind of boring while I was watching it straight through. It's not a movie that I want to add to my collection, nor is it a movie that I would really want to see again. I know that my wife really wanted to see this movie with me, and because of the fact that I have seen it now, because she has a very hectic schedule and didn't like it, I still would recommend her to see it, because I feel that she might find some good things in there that I did not, as well as others who may see Brooklyn. So, Brooklyn, I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of 4. So thank you very much for watching my final one that got away for 2016, everybody, even though for the last 3 months it's been triple features, and I'm looking forward to seeing many more movies that got away in 2016 when Up From the Underground premieres in 2017. But for now, I will see you in the next one, and actions speak louder than words.